Hey guys, we are back with some more Edmonton Oilers franchise mode, and in this one, we have the start of year number 7. We're going to go over the lines, picking up right where we left off in the last one. Of course, we have Nuge, McDavid, and Marner on the first line. Second line is Meyer, Draisaitl, and Puljujarvi. Third line is Wilson, Anderson, and Wisniewski. The fourth line is Tierney, Borgstrom, and Eller. Defensively, Byram and Barrie, Klefbom and Merkley, Nurse and Larson, and in goal we have Subban and Weston Barron, our prospect, medium elite prospect goaltender, who is looking to break into the NHL this year. Now, special teams, we didn't do this in the last one. Power play, Meyer, McDavid, Puljujarvi, with Barrie and Anderson on the point. And then it will be Nuge, Draisaitl, and Marner with Merkley and Klefbom. And the four-man power play, McDavid, Puljujarvi, Nurse, and Barrie. And then Draisaitl, Marner, Klefbom, and Merkley. Penalty kill, Draisaitl, Wilson, Byram, and Larson. Borgstrom, Puljujarvi, Nurse, and Barrie. And Puljujarvi is on there, of course, because he is solid defensively with the takeaway to giveaway ratio. He has proved that he can be consistent with it. 3 seasons of over 100 takeaways in a row. So he's solid. He's proven that he's great defensively. We're going to have him with Borgstrom. And on the 3-man penalty kill will be Draisaitl, Byram, and Larson, and then Borgstrom, Nurse, and Barrie. 4-on-4, McDavid, Puljujarvi, Byram, and Barrie, and then Draisaitl, Marner, Klefbom, and Merkley, Nuge, Meyer, Nurse, and Larson, and then the 3-on-3, McDavid, Puljujarvi, Barrie, Draisaitl, Marner, and Klefbom, Nuge, Meyer, and Merkley. McDavid and Draisaitl are the extra attackers, and the shootout, McDavid, Marner, Draisaitl, Merkley, and Puljujarvi. And, of course, we already saw the goaltenders. Scratched are Goldobin, Santini, and McCann. And that'll be it for the lines. But as we take a look at our contracts, there's something very interesting that changes everything here. As we take a look at unsigned players, Stu Comiskey is an 86 overall, 20 years of age. We drafted this guy in the 5th round of the 2023 draft. I don't know where he's been playing. He has been playing in the United States, and it looked like he had an incredible year as a defensive defenseman there in the United States League, 67 points in 68 games. That must have caused him to grow up to an 86 overall in just 1 year. And it looks like his offensive awareness is already kind of up there. It's up there around an 84, so he may be able to double as a two-way defenseman almost. It looks like his defensive category is already pretty solid based off what we're seeing here, as the 3 bars are showing us pretty accurate information. Not completely accurate, but for the most part accurate. So, yeah, I mean, once we sign this guy, that basically changes everything. That means we have to consider trading one of either Larson, Nurse, or Barrie. Or not Barrie, Klefbom. I mean, even Barrie, you might be able to argue why you could trade him, considering he's 33 years of age. But Stu Comiskey, welcome to the Edmonton Oilers. What a surprise this guy was. And we now have an incredible defense. So yeah, looks like he's in the AHL at the moment. We will definitely call up Stu Comiskey, and that's why we have 21 skaters. So we'll send down Santini, I suppose, for right now. But when you take a look at our defensive core now, goodness, Larson, 84 overall, Adam Larson is our 7th defenseman currently. So we have a decision to make. We definitely have a decision to make. I think if Stu Comiskey can play well in the preseason of what's left of it anyway, I think there's like 5 or 6 games left, and then at least the first month, I would say, of the regular season, if he could play well, then we might seriously have to consider stopping this episode short and possibly trade Nurse or Larson or Klefbom or maybe even Barrie, depending on, I just guess, the situation. I can't see myself trading Barrie right now. He's got 1 year left on his deal, but he's still a very solid player. So I'm thinking more along the lines of Larson, Nurse, or Klefbom. But still, you know, Stu Comiskey jumping all the way up to an 86 overall, that really changes things for us. So we're going to have to, I guess, reevaluate our roster going into or I guess throughout the first part of this season, because the defensive depth we have right now is insane with Comiskey in here. I guess for right now, I'll take out Nurse because I think I saw Comiskey is a left-handed defenseman. Yes, he is. We'll throw him in there on maybe the second pair even with Merkley because, you got the defensive defenseman, offensive defenseman pairing. And even Stu Comiskey, depending on what that actual offensive awareness rating is, if that's like an 86, he might be pretty solid offensively too. We don't know. And he's only 20. He might be able to grow offensively even more. So he might double as a complete defenseman at some point. Maybe by the time he's like 22 or 23. And that bumps Clefbaum down to the third pair with Adam Larsson. Just think. Year number 1, this was our first pair of defensive core. Clefbaum and Larsson was our first pair. Now they're our third pair with Byram and Barry up here. And now Comiskey and Merkley. Oh, it's the defense is completely revamped here in Edmonton, and I cannot wait to see what Stu Comiskey brings. Although do I want him on the power? Well, you know what? He did have that 84 offensive awareness at that 3-bar 84, so we'll try him on the power play just to see what he can do. We'll, of course, leave him on the penalty kill as a defensive defenseman. And other than that, I think everything else will stay the same. So, Darnell Nurse is currently a scratch for your Edmonton Oilers. We've come a long way. We have definitely come a long way. And, of course, we got lucky with the growth of Stu Comiskey, but we'll see how he plays in the preseason, and I'll see you guys in 1 second. Well, we went 6-1 in the preseason, so not bad. I would imagine we'll be keeping Comiskey in there, and it looks like he is partially injured. So that offensive awareness is actually better than what it was before. It's at an 85. If he could just get his puck skills up there a little bit more, even his puck skills for a defensive defenseman aren't terrible. They're actually pretty solid for a defensive defenseman. This guy could be incredible. If he was just like a little bit faster, this guy could be an incredible two-way defenseman. So I'm very excited to see how Stu Comiskey develops. His physical and defensive categories are already amazing. I mean, 91 defensive awareness, 95 shot blocking, 91 stick checking. You're definitely going to have him on the penalty kill. 90 body checking, 95 strength. This guy is physically ready for the NHL, and he's 6'4", 219 pounds. 85 offensive awareness, and those puck skills don't hurt either. So, yeah, you might be looking at your next superstar defenseman here with your Edmonton Oilers. We'll see in time, but 86 overall going into your first year, not too shabby. Oh my god. That takeaway to giveaway ratio. Stu Comiskey might be one of the greatest things to happen. Based off his preseason stats, oh my goodness. We have to start him in the regular season. We have to. That's an incredible takeaway to giveaway ratio for a rookie defensive defenseman. Are you kidding me? And 15 hits as well, so he's a hitter. Wow. Yeah, we're definitely starting Stu Comiskey this year. I think we give him a 1-month trial to see how he performs in the regular season. But if it's anything like what he just did in the preseason, we may have a little bit of a trade predicament on our hands here, because we currently have the 84 overall Darnell Nurse making almost $5 million sitting on the bench as a healthy scratch. Wow. All right, so I guess enough talk. Let's simulate the first month and see how we do. I'm officially impressed with Stu Comiskey. He's already a +6 in his first 12 games played with 3 points as a defensive defenseman. We'll see how the points thing works out, obviously. And he's got that 85 offensive awareness, so he might actually be able to put up quite a few points. More points than we expect anyway as a defensive defenseman. 19 shots, so he hasn't taken too many shots, but in only 16:49 of ice time, 18 blocks, 19 hits, and his takeaway to giveaway ratio is not bad at all for a young defensive defenseman. 4-7. Usually, let's just take Byram as his comparable. Byram at this age, 20 years of age, was not good with the takeaways to giveaways. Stu Comiskey as a pure defensive defenseman, who is honestly looking more like a two-way defenseman at this point, is already, so far, fantastic with the takeaway to giveaway ratio. So we'll obviously keep an eye on that, but he is definitely someone that we want to keep in the lineup. Now it's a matter of who do we trade? Because I'm not having an 84 overall Darnell Nurse who is making $5 million sit on the bench all year. That's just not happening. So, I mean, Byram, he's not coming out. Barry, he's not coming out. Stu Comiskey, we know he's not coming out. Ryan Merkley, we need him for point scoring. He's not coming out. Clefbaum, he's got 6 points so far. He's not coming out. You might be able to make the argument for Larson. That's about it. Oh, and more good news. Weston Barron, so far, has not been scored on in the NHL. Now, it looks like, actually, automated goalie rotations might not be on, so I have to remember to turn that back on. But still, the situation with Stu Comiskey is going to be very interesting this year. Because if he can maintain this production rate and while not giving away the puck too much, we got ourselves a potential all-star defenseman here. So Nuge with 7 points, McDavid with 8 points, Marner with 10, Meyer with 5, Draisaitl with 8, Puljujarvi with 7, Wilson with 3, Anderson with 7, Wisniewski with 8, Tierney with 6, Borgstrom with 7, and Eller with 1. So a lot of depth scoring here to start out, as well as some good, solid defense, which is what I like to see. And yeah, honestly, there's not much that's going wrong at the moment. I think we'll check out the team stats just to make sure that our special teams are working. But other than that, we're 8-3-1 in the first 12 games. Not much to complain about. Stu Comiskey is doing very well, as we all saw. Goals for per game, we are currently first in our division, 2.92. Goals against per, wow. Wow. This defense has come a long way. 2.17 goals against per game in 12 games so far. Power play could definitely use some work, 15%. But the penalty kill is doing just fine, 85.7%. One shorty as well. And 7-2-1 in the last 10. We went 8-3-1 in October, obviously. And there's no reason to really stop anything right now. I mean, maybe we could take a look at the power play, but other than that, that's about it. So I think instead of Barry, I'm going to get Merkley up here. So it'll just be Barry and Clefbaum. I think that's the only change I'm going to make to the power play, to be honest. We'll get Stu Comiskey down here instead of Clefbaum, so it'll be Clefbaum and Barry, and then Comiskey with Merkley. But yeah, that's basically it. We'll see what those changes do for the power play, and we'll continue the simulation. Well, first major injury of the year. Bowen Byram injured with a mild concussion until November 18th. And it's not that long away. It's only about a week or so. So we're, I guess, going to have to get Mr. Darnell Nurse back in there for a little bit. So welcome back to the lineup, Darnell Nurse. Getting some first pairing time with Tyson Barrie. See what he can do in his return to the lineup. Rip the dream. Stu Comiskey injured with a pulled groin until December 1st. So that's unfortunate. Right when we were giving him his inauguration into the NHL, he goes down with an injury until December 1st. So we're going to get Clefbaum up here. Actually, we'll get Clefbaum with Barrie since they have a little bit of chemistry. Nurse with Merkley. And then with Larson will be... we're going to have to call up Santini here. And now Byram's back, so we'll get Santini out. Byram in. And I guess back to the original defensive pairs here. So we'll get Clefbaum there, Nurse on the third pair with Larson, and Byram back on the first pair with Barrie. And just checking special teams here. I believe we are set. So here we are at the start of December. We went 6-2 in November. And now, of course, we were without our rookie sensation, Stu Comiskey, for a good portion of that time span. So we can't really place too much of that on him because he obviously wasn't in the lineup. But we're definitely going to get him back in here. And I would say we'll take Nurse out for sure. And because he was injured, we're going to give it one more month before we consider trading anybody. Just so that we know for sure if Stu Comiskey is the real deal or not. So far in 19 games, he has 4 points, 33 shots, shooting percentage of 6.1, and he's getting approximately 728 of ice time per game. 31 hits, 22 blocks, and a giveaway to takeaway ratio of exactly 2-1. Leading our team in points, we have 3 players. Tied for first, Jesse Puljujärvi, Elias Andersson, and Mitch Marner all with 20 points. Draisaitl with 18, McDavid only with 14, Nuge and Meyer only with 14 as well. Borgstrom and Wisniewski with 13, Barrie with 11, Tierney with 10, Wilson with 9, Klefbom with 9, Merkley with 9, Byram with 5, Eller with 5 as well, Comiskey with 4, Larson with 3, Nurse with 2 in 9 games, McCann and Goldobin have not played. Plus minus, the highest is Elias Andersson with a plus 10. Faceoffs, Tierney with a 60.9 on 23 faceoffs taken, McDavid with a 57.5, Draisaitl with a 55.2, Nuge with a 51.4 on 35 faceoffs taken. Borgstrom is below a 50, as is Andersson, unfortunately. Hits, 42 for Draisaitl, 41 for Byram, 38 for Klefbom, 36 for McDavid and Puljujärvi, 35 for Wilson, 34 for Borgstrom, 33 for Meyer, 31 for Larson, 31 for Comiskey, 23 for Tierney, 18 for Eller, 16 for Nuge, 16 for Andersson, 15 for Marner, and all these guys down here. Now takeaways to giveaways. 45-18 for Puljujärvi, 43-14 for McDavid, 15-11 for Wilson, 14-16 for Larson. Wow. Unusual for Adam Larson. Larson's been a lot better lately with the takeaway to giveaway ratio. Even last year, he was pretty good as well, 21-30. So maybe Adam Larson, as that third pairing defenseman, is pretty solid with about not giving away the puck now. Nuge, 14-16, 14-18 for Borgstrom, 14-9 for Tierney, 14-11 for Eller, 13-23 for Klefbom, 13-9 for Andersson, 11-13 for Draisaitl, 11-18 for Marner, 10-13 for Wisniewski, 8-17 for Merkley, 6-12 for Barrie, 6-23 for Byram, 6-12 for Comiskey, 5-20 for Meyer. That's very unusual of Meyer. 1-7 for Nurse, and goaltenders Malcolm Subban with a 907 in 22 games, with 2 shutouts and 1 assist. But Weston Barrett in 7 games with a 952 save percentage and 1 shutout. So Weston Barrett so far proving to be the real deal. And of course, he's only an 81 overall, so he's still getting backup time. That is fine with me. I want to put him in the best position to succeed as possible, and Malcolm Subban is allowing him to do that. So we're going to go 1 more month in the simulation before we make any decision on whether we need to trade anybody on our defensive core. But should we have a winning month, then I think we do have to trade one of either Klefbom, Larson, or Nurse. And based off the stats, it's looking more like Nurse at the moment, but we'll see how this month plays out. Man, Byram injured again with an injured groin till December 29th, so I believe that'll just throw Darnell Nurse in there if we auto-replace, and we will do that. So at the end of December, we are 24-13-4. We went 10-4-1 in that month, and now we're about the halfway point of the season, actually exactly halfway, and I think we are going to stop this episode here in terms of the simulation, because we do have a decision to make as far as our defensive core goes. I think one of these guys has to go, because I'm not having an 84 overall who's making $5 million sit on the bench. That's just not happening. You're getting way too much money to just sit on the bench, or not even on the bench, in the press box. So we'll take a look at the stats here, but then we're going to have to wrap things up, and we're going to have to make a decision on one of our defensemen being shipped out in exchange for mainly some cap space, because I would say we need that going into this offseason. We do have, I think, Bowen Byram is coming up, as well as Merkley. 1 year left for Merkley, and that means Byram is also only on a 1-year deal. You got Nurse, who's coming up, who we might end up trading. Adam Larson is on a 1-year deal as well. Oscar Klefbom only has 2 years left. Barrie is on a 1-year deal. So basically all of our defensemen are expiring this year. And we, Draisaitl, that's the big fish this year as well. And he actually doesn't want to re-sign. So I'm going to see if I can re-sign him now, just so we can get him out of the way so we know what we are working with. But we absolutely have to re-sign Draisaitl. And yeah, he does not want to re-sign. So we're going to see what he wants. He wants 8.6. I will give Draisaitl 9 mil. So 9 mil for 5 years for Draisaitl. Now, what does Byram want? 5.8? Yeah, we definitely need that cap space. We definitely do need that cap space. And then Merkley, he wants 5.4. Yeah, somebody's got to go. One of those defensemen has to go. Puljujarvi with 40 points. Draisaitl with 37. Marner with 34. Anderson with 30. McDavid only with 29 so far. Meyer with 24. Nuge with 23, Wisniewski with 18, Borgstrom with 17, 16 for Tierney, 12 for Wilson, 11 for Eller, and defensively 23 for Barrie, 14 for Merkley, 11 for Klefbom, 10 for Comiskey, 5 for Larson and Byram, and 4 for Nurse. Faceoffs, McDavid at a 56.7, Draisaitl at a 55.7, Borgstrom finally up to a 50.7, and Anderson at a 48.8. Hits, you have Draisaitl leading the way with 77, 74 for McDavid, 65 for Puljujarvi, 63 for Klefbom, 57 for Byram, 56 for Comiskey, 54 for Wilson, 53 for Borgstrom and Meyer, 52 for Larson, 35 for Tierney, and it drops off from there. And takeaways to giveaways, 75 to 35 for Puljujarvi. McDavid is great as well. Wilson is good. Draisaitl's good. Anderson's good. 21 to 31 for Nuge. That's a bit unfortunate. 20 to 12 for Tierney. 19 to 18 for Lars Eller. 18 to 26 for Marner. 17 to 32 for Klefbom. 17 to 18 for Wisniewski. 16 to 29 for Borgstrom. 14 to 27 for Larson. 13 to 28 for Merkley. 12 to 25 for Meyer. 11 to 23 for Barrie. 11 to 30 for Byram. 8 to 26 for Comiskey. So Comiskey, unfortunately, over the past month, definitely gave away the puck a lot. But, you know, he's 20, he's young, he's got most of what he needs already. He's going to be a key part of this defensive core for years to come. 1 to 12 for Nurse. And in goal, Malcolm Subban with the 908 in 33 games, 17 wins. And Weston Barron in 12 games with the 930. And an assist as well. So, there you go. There's the stats for the simulation so far. Let me know what you guys think. What should we do regarding our defensive situation? It's a good problem to have, of course, because that means we have a lot of depth. But, you know, there does come a point where we have to let go of some of that in exchange for some cap space. And also, you know, maybe we could get a pick back for someone like Darnell Nurse or Adam Larson, depending on who we want to trade. Goals for per game, we are up there at a 3.12, highest in our division. Goals against per game, we are currently at a 2.56. That's definitely gone up since we last checked. Power play is now clicking, 21.5, second in our division. And the penalty kill is now not clicking at an 80.2. So we're going to have to figure that out. Still, for the most part, we're a pretty good team. And we just have to figure out what's going to happen with our defensive core. And we'll try to figure out the penalty kill a little bit. But other than that, we look set and poised to make yet another playoff run. So with that, let me know what you guys think. Who should we trade? And what should we trade for? It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of what. Let me know, and I'll see you guys in the next one when we continue year number 7.